Who do not know me, my name is Odunlami. I'm an immigration attorney from the Odunlami law firm in New Jersey, and our law firm serves clients in all 50 states and even abroad if you're looking for immigration help. Of course, we're here to assist you because we are a law firm of immigrants. Our mission and our passion is to assist fellow immigrants to gain legal status so that they can live here in the United States without fear of being deported, without fear of being separated from their loved one. Um, our phone number is 973 993 1900. So I'm on YouTube, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and I want to just catch up with you guys. I haven't been on for a while because it's just been really busy, but I am obligated to show up for you guys to update you with immigration news, to let you know what's going on, and just do my best to keep us all together in our fight against the cruelty of this administration. We're here for our fellow immigrants, and we want to give you comfort. We want to break down the news so that you know what's true, what's not true, because there's crazy stuff out there. And so I'm going to talk about, give you some updates to the news. And once I'm done, please feel free to ask me questions. I'll do my best to answer it. And then, I'll be heading out. So, like I said, our law firm is in New Jersey, but we service clients from all 50 states because immigration is federal law. And so, if you need to reach out to us, please be sure to reach out to us in the way that we ask that you contact us, because there are a lot of people out there pretending to be our law firm and then to scam you. So, be careful. So let's get started. So we all heard about the big, what's it called? The so-called big beautiful bill, which I don't know why I call that, because there was nothing beautiful about that bill. That bill was cruel. That bill was atrocious. And oof, I think after that bill was passed July 4th, I was speechless. In addition to the tragedy that happened in Texas, that's been really, really, really tough. Just, it's just been tough. Um, we are here. We do hard things. We get back on the saddle, and keep on riding. That's what we do. So let's talk about the big, beautiful, big. I don't know. I'm not going to call it the big, whatever it is, because the bill. But bottom line, you guys know what I'm talking about. Cap, uh, Trump signed into law July 4th. And this bill, touching immigrants, also has far-reaching effects on American citizens. I mean, it's horrible. But I'm talk about immigration, how it affects you. So I made some notes on this bill. I'm not going to go into detail on every single thing that you talked about, because just anyway. So what you want to know is that this bill has allocated substantial monies towards, mass deportations, immigration funding, border-related operations. I think to the amount of 170 billion. So what I'm hearing is that the the money given to ICE, is basically makes it one of the most highly funded government agencies. And of course, they're doing this because they're looking to, increase complete the border wall, which the Trump has promised in the first administration. It's not successful, so they're looking to do that. They want to expand the detention bed facility. You guys must have heard that I put this out, that they have site in Florida, where they're calling it alligator Alcatraz. They built it actually very hastily built tents in Florida, which the administration is so excited about because they're just so excited about the thought of having immigrants being eaten by alligators and snakes. That's causing them joy. Yes. So they that um, so also that the money will also fund hiring additional ICE agents to the tune of 10,000 ICE agents plus thousands more for border control and all of that stuff. And of course, they're deputizing state law enforcement to assist them. They're working with United States Post Office. They're basically working with any agency, any government agency that can assist them. Working, trying to use technology, face recognition, and all. One thing I know about immigrants is we are hardy and we will continue to fight because this country was founded on everybody that came to this country is an immigrant. And so this is a country of immigrants. And to show the current non-citizens who are trying to get legal status, the level of cruelty that we see is just astounding. And the sad thing is a lot of people are not paying attention because they think it doesn't affect them until it does. But until then, we as immigration lawyers believe in our cause. We believe we're doing the right thing. We're on the right side of the law. We're on the right side of history. And we're going to continue to work and fight for our clients to be treated with dignity. We're going to continue to fight for our clients to get legal status. And we're doing this legally. We're following the law. So we're not encouraging anybody to do anything illegal. This is the law. We can do that. So that's what we're going to continue doing. And as difficult as it is now, because this administration is really conducting a psychological warfare on people. People are afraid. I have U.S. citizens born here, generations with parents and grandparents who are U.S. citizens who were born here, calling my office afraid to travel. That is so sad. It is really sad. So there's a lot of anxiety amongst everyone, a lot of fear, and a lot of it is designed purposefully to put people in such a state that they are not being proactive about the immigration process or not being proactive about what they need to do. We're still a country of law, right? You can't hear me. Your audio. Let me see. YouTube, can you hear me? If you can't hear me, can you hop onto Instagram maybe or Facebook or TikTok? Because I don't know what to do. I'm um just okay. All right. So what was I saying? Um, I lost my train of thought. Anyways, the bottom line is things are tougher. Yes, I agree. But we're still winning cases, right? We're still the law has created a pathway to allow to to bring cases, fight for our clients, advocate for our clients, and let our clients get themselves legal status, and we're going to continue to do that. And many people, more I guess people who are in greater, they have a greater chance of being detained. Yeah, because I keep telling people, right? Sometimes getting into immigration proceedings, being before the judge, might actually be a way to get a green card. And the only way to know whether your fear is baseless is really to talk to an experienced attorney, because there are people who have been here for over 10 years. They have American children. They got served with an MCA after they've been here for 10 years. They have a criminal record, and we can apply, we can seek a relief called cancellation of removal, right? And it's a discretionary relief, of course, but that's a pathway. And so just being afraid of reading removal proceedings is not helpful to you if you should be looking to hire an attorney to get a green card. And even if you're in a removal proceeding, you still can removal proceedings, your child can still file for you. Your spouse can still file for you. I know Hassan Bernard. I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on with YouTube, but I think that's a YouTube problem. So hop onto Instagram, please. Hop onto Facebook or TikTok. I don't know what to do. I'm not very technologically savvy, so I do apologize, but I don't know what to do with that. Okay. Um, yeah, Facebook is not complaining. I think it's a YouTube thing. All right. So the bottom line is there's a lot going on, and they're making it difficult for even legal immigration. Let me just tell you that. For instance, the increased fees, right? That came as a part of the bill. Now asylum applicants have to pay filing fees. They have to renew and pay fees for a work permit every 6 months. CPS now, CPS holders now have to file their fees for that. Their fees for if you go to court and you're no show. There's just a lot of fees that are designed to discourage legal immigration. So if you understand that this is what the plan is, all you need to be figuring out is how can I get legal status legally. The law has a process for that, right? And of course, these fees are really not helpful, but we're immigrants, do hard things, we're, we're tough, we'll find if people came all the way to their country, came from the country to another country, people came, through torturous, travel methods, able to make it here. Trust me, the administration can't defeat you. Okay, but the thing is, you have to have a plan, and you have to figure out a way to, do things legally. You have to figure out a pathway for yourself. If you don't have a pathway right now, doesn't mean there's not going to be a pathway. And I'm going to ask people to stop listening to people randomly, because I cannot tell you how many conversations I have where somebody said all wrong, just already depleting your energy because they're giving you talk to a lawyer, figure out maybe two, maybe three, figure out if there's a pathway. If there's none, maybe not now, maybe later. Okay. I also tell people, if you've been here for more than 2 years, even if you're placed in deportation proceedings, you're likely not going to be put in, put in a plane the very next day, deported, unless you already have a deportation order, right? So a lot of people being placed in removal proceedings, but they're getting bumped, which means they go back to their family, able to fight for their right to remain in the country from their home. So information out there is meant to scare, it's meant to terrorize, it's meant to make you inactive due to your fear. And if you're allowing that to stop you from seeking a pathway or from following through a pathway that has been prescribed to you, you're playing into. So let's talk about another priority for this administration. We're talking about naturalized citizens. I think you know mentioned he may do the same to people who are born here. I don't know what that means, but let's talk about the naturalization priorities. So everyone who's a U.S. citizen is not subject to naturalization. The naturalization is not common. Really, they're looking for people who members have membership in legal, like a Nazi party, people who lie on citizenship applications, especially with regards to criminal convictions, um, and all of that stuff. So, if you're a U.S. citizen, majority of majority of you are not going to be subject to that. Unfortunately, civil litigation process, which means that you don't have a right to an attorney, so you have to hire an attorney. But the thing about this, what I want you guys to know is lawyers fight for their clients. And I hate to tell you, I hate to say this because I don't want to give this example example because it's a really growth example. It's gonna tell you. Maybe but I just want to say that even people who have committed the worst crime, they go to court, lawyers fight for them, and shockingly, sometimes they're able to get out of it. Right? So what I'm trying to say is, the government may want to do a lot of things, right? But as lawyers, our job is to look at the situation, look at the law, and figure out how best to advocate for our clients. And lawyers do a great job because that's the reason we have a lot of, you know, changes in society. Brown versus Board of Education, Loving versus Virginia, all of this, changes in society came as a result of changes in the law that was caused by lawyers advocating for their clients, right? So I tell you this so that don't you don't give up hope because there's always hope. Like I say all the time, we're still a law of a country of laws, and there are lawsuits everywhere. It looks like the administration is doing a lot of them. Yes, it does look like that, but the fight is not over. So let's talk about the fact that U.S. immigration is experiencing a historic lockdown with green card backlog, million to 11.3 million cases by this second quarter. So only 2.7 million cases were processed during quarter 2, which means that 8.6 million applications were practically low. So over 34,000 applications have not opened, and I got all this information from Economic Times. The reason is because this administration is focused on putting obstacles to legal immigration. However, one thing that's working really fine right now, timely, is naturalization. So if you're, if you can file for naturalization, the first thing I'm going to recommend is that you talk to a lawyer first because you want to make sure that you don't have any inadmissibilities because if your naturalization application is denied, they will put you in removal, right? And some people will never become U.S. citizens because they have some inadmissibility which was forgiven before, or just maybe there's just something that happened in the few years prior to after they became a green card holder, prior to the application for naturalization. So you really don't want to expose yourself in that way. You want to know whether it's a good idea to file for naturalization. Now, if it is, go ahead because that's an amazing, beautiful thing to become a U.S. citizen. And if it's not for you at this point, then let it be. Now, another thing I want to talk about is the visa policy changes with regards to Nigeria. You guys are Nigerian, and so yes, it's changed because now instead of getting the non-immigrant visas are being given for just 3 months. So the administration is working with Nigerian government to enforce immigration standards. So hopefully this won't be too long. And like I say, let's look at the bright side. It's not a travel ban, and so it is what it is. And now for the countries, for people, for nationals from countries that have a travel ban, I want to let you know that this does not mean you should not put in your application because the ban really comes when you go for your interview, right? There's a travel ban, and you're not one of those who are exempted. They will not travel. However, if you have a sibling or you have an employer who's willing to file for you, you can put in the process now because these processes take a long time. And some of this process might laws may change, and there's no harm in putting the application on the line. Now, for people in the travel ban country, remember that the travel ban is not, there are people who are exempt from the travel ban. I'm going to mention some of them. Immediate relatives, so spouses of U.S. children under the age of 21, U.S. citizens, and parents of U.S. citizens, son or daughter is 21 and them. So those people, regardless of what country you're from, you're not subject to travel ban. You can go ahead and continue your process. So what? Now I want to talk about special immigrant juvenile status real quick because there's been changes to SIJS. SIJS is a wonderful way to assist children who are present in the United States who have been abused, abandoned, or neglected by at least one parent. We do a lot of SIJS cases. It's a two-part process. The first process happens in family courts, and then it goes when we get a predicate order because the judge has made special findings that the child was abused, abandoned, or neglected by at least one parent, that the child is better off in the United States, and all of that. Then, we put an application using the form I-360 and, to USCIS and SIJS, immigrant juvenile status is approved. Typically in the past, they would get deferred action. Deferred action means that they cannot be deported. Deferred action means that they're allowed to apply for work permits while they're waiting because visa bulletin, there's no visas currently available. So the difference now is that there's no more deferred action. So what that means is that these young people cannot get a work permit while they're waiting for their priority date to become current. And I don't even understand what the purpose of that is because for real, they have approved for SIJS approval and they're just in limbo. Why not allow them to work? Why not allow young people to improve themselves? I just don't understand that. I really don't. Anyway, that being said, you still should file for SIJS if you are qualified because that's still a factor that has a pathway to get your green card. So regardless of this inconvenience, you still have a pathway to become a green card holder, ultimately a citizen. But SIJS is still a viable pathway for children under the age of 21, 18 in some countries, in some states, 19 in some states. But basically, what it is that in some states, you have to be under a certain age to go into family court to get a predicate order. Typically, the red states, in most of the blue states, I think the cutoff is 21. But I always tell people, don't wait till the last minute. You really want to put this application way ahead of time because you don't have any control over the court calendar. You know. So I think that's it. And also, what else with the news? TPS. A couple of days ago, we got news that the TPS for Nicaragua and Honduras has been terminated, and I think it terminates September 2025. The administration feels that the country is safe enough for them to return, and maybe not, but there's still advisories against Americans going to those countries. But what is really sad is a lot of these people have been here since 1999, and they have children, they have grandchildren, community, they've been legal here, they've paid taxes, they've bought homes. To just one day wake up and not have status is horrible. That's what it is. What I encourage people who have had their TPS terminated is, I don't know what's going on with mine. I think Facebook is not having a problem, Instagram is not having a problem. Please join that. We're going to have to ask our IT people to figure out why the audio is breaking up. So, what was I saying? Yes, if you have TPS or you have TPS or your TPS about to terminate, you really want to talk to an attorney to see if you have other pathways because you can have other pathways considered because you had TPS and you were comfortable just being able to work. Okay, YouTube is having the same problem. Yeah. So I think it's my computer because I'm screening uh, YouTube and YouTube and Facebook through my computer. Maybe the streaming. All right. So I'm gonna wait to get some. I'm gonna answer some questions. But I want to remind you guys again that there's a psychological warfare being played where they want the administration is looking for you guys to be so scared that you're not willing to that you're too afraid to look into ways to stay here legally. Those pathways are still on the book. You still have VAWA against women's act. You still have TVs, trafficking. Are you a victim of trafficking? Domestic trafficking, labor trafficking. Have you worked for somebody who uh, exploited you and put you in a situation of forced servitude where you're really afraid to leave the job because of something they said or some kind of threat? Um, you know, did you live with somebody, maybe a significant other, maybe a family member who brought you over here, promising you this, and instead you turned it into a domestic servant in the house, making you cook, clean, forcing you to do this thing. The way you know if you've been trafficked is to talk to anybody that does C visa, U visas, you're a victim of a crime. Has somebody committed a crime against you, qualifying crime, that you witnessed a crime, you help the police out. Thank you, Katie. Those are all ways for you to get status. You have family members that can file for you, and they're just other pathways. And a lot of times it boils down to proper screening. Because I have people who, we spend the first 20 minutes talking, and we can't find a pathway, and then we ask the right question. Then it all begins to come. And because we're experienced when we do this consultation, we pretty much are zoom, asking these questions, and we're looking at you, we're looking at your facial expression, and it tells us when to stop, ask more questions of that. It's actually very exciting when you find somebody has a pathway that they didn't know about. They've been here for 20, 30 years. They didn't know this because nobody asked the right question. That's something that is our specialty. Asking those questions, looking at you, trying to figure out if there's more information that you're given, because sometimes people are really afraid that they don't talk. So, those are the things that we look at. What I want to leave with you guys today is just don't buy into this fear. Yes, there's a lot going on. Nobody can deny it. It's really traumatic for our clients, traumatic for us because we're working with people who don't deserve to be treated this way, and it's just so hard. But we're here fighting for you guys. We have advocacy groups filing lawsuits, and we're doing our best to, push back against an administration that is intent on destroying the good in this country. So yeah, let me take some questions. Yeah, guys, Facebook and Instagram. Sorry, I don't know what's going on. I'm going to talk to our IT person tomorrow because it's either the streaming, which I suspect it is, because I have a new that's, version that's not working well with uh I use. So, but maybe next time I'll try to stream my laptop instead. Okay. So let's see. Let me see if I can answer a few questions. Uh, I'm not seeing any questions. So BB Raji says her journey is such a powerful reminder of how immigration, when thoughtfully, can enrich society in so many ways. BB Raji, 110%. You're totally right on that. Listen to a private dance by Turner. It's amazing how much talent and depth brought to the world. Correct. I haven't seen this and I haven't listened to that, but I got to tell you, immigrants make America greater. We all know this, and the people are afraid of the unknown, right? They've been told that the reason their lives are not what they want to be is because of immigrants, and we know that's not true, but you can't convince them. And we're not trying to convince them, we're trying to, you know, find a place in society using the laws of the books. And that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to continue to do, okay? All right, let's see. Lavelle said that Lavelle, there's going to be a recording of this on Instagram and on TikTok. Maybe not TikTok. TikTok doesn't say it. But if you go to Instagram, you're going to have a recording of this, okay? All right. Yeah, this is that you guys are not able to hear me. So knowledge is power says, if I have 2 years, if I have 2 years in my fiance and I have an interview, can that affect my interview? So knowledge is power. You're supposed to have seen your fiance 2 years before you file. Now, if the case is taking much longer and you haven't seen them in 2 years, at the time you file the petition, the K1, you have to have um, you have to have seen them within 2 years preceding the filing. And I want to mention something because I forgot to mention that if you're in one of the travel ban countries, you're not going to be able to apply for K1, right? At this point. Well, not that you can apply, but there's a ban against that filing. And if you're not willing to wait until the ban is lifted, you might want to marry your spouse and file for them because as a US citizen, you can file for all right? All right. So, Flo Flores says I have special immigrants approved April 2022. What date are they on? Flo Flores, no date. They have no date. Basically unavailable. That's what it is. I think they have a U there. U means unavailable. So we don't know when there's going to be. Yep, what it is. So, there's somebody I don't remember the name, but said I can't read the name. Something like Steliani says he entered through parole in '97. He had a 2004. You're married to the US. This state to file like status. Well, the removal order has to be terminated. So you want to talk to an attorney, because people with removal orders are high risk administration. So talk to an attorney. Give us a call 973-993-1900. Let's take a look at your case and help you navigate this pathway. Okay? All right. So on TikTok, somebody says, "How can I relocate to the British passport?" That's you want to come to the United States with the British passport? No, different ways. You have a U.S. citizen spouse, you have a green card holder spouse, they can file for you. You have, if you're under 21, you have a parent who's a U.S. citizen, they can file for you. If you're over 21, they can file for you. It takes a long time. You have somebody willing to do the employment. There are ways to come to the United States legally. Time. Okay? If you're an extraordinary person, you have, you can file for yourself if you want. Michael says, "How long is I-45 this for taking a while? We've noticed that, so maybe 3 months. It's taking a while though. So Paula says I-130 was approved and it's after 30 days. You haven't received welcome letter from NBC. Yeah, typically it takes about 30 days. Just make sure that you're not missing something. But give it a little more time, okay? You can give them a call too. Yeah, we talked about K1 visa already. You have a K1 visa, it's not going to work for travel ban. All right, so I think let's go to Mike Mark says, I have a test case. Can I apply for US visa? It depends. It depends on when the test happens, and on what you're charged with, you pled to. You need to talk to an attorney to, because typically with criminal cases, we actually request all the records to determine whether it's all right. Yes, I-730s are affected because from travel ban. That is correct. So Hess Tech Box says, you need an appointment, see me in New Jersey, give us a call, 973-993-1900. All right. So, guys, I'm not seeing a lot of messages here. Um, TJ Baba says, can an American fiance still file for K1? Can an American, I think what you're asking, can an American file a K1? Yes, of course you can. If you're not from a travel ban state, country, yes, you can. If you're from a travel ban country, I probably recommend that you get married so that you can get the process moving for that to be changed. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it, guys. We have to hang strong. We have to stay strong. Yes, it's demoralizing. Yes, it sometimes your reserves feel depleted, but I remind myself that there's a psychological warfare trying to intimidate us, trying to uh, exhaust us so that we are too depleted to do anything. But strong. Okay, so if you need our assistance, don't forget to call 973-993-1. All right, guys. Good night, and see you another time. Take care.